Assalamualaikum and good evening to our beloved lecturer, Dr. Ayu and all of my friends. Today we are from Group 9. We'll present our group project which is Expatriates in Brazil.
Expatriation is the process when someone needs to leave their origin country and move to another country temporarily or permanently because they get a job placement in the international organization or self-employment. The objective of expatriation: first, professional development, which is the opportunity for professionals to acquire new skill and experience that can enhance their career. The second, career investment. New roles and responsibility provide career investment of different location in leadership position or managing a global team. The third, talent management. They can develop and retain top talent to gain international experience and broaden their skill and perspective. Why we choose to expat in Brazil? Because of two factors. The first is economic factor, which is Brazil rich in a variety of natural resources such as petroleum, steel, and they are world's second largest producer in America of useful iron ore that might be benefit for the both steel company. Increased economic stability open up opportunity for Brazilian businesses and multinational to invest in new high equipment and technology. Next, about demographic factor, Brazil have a diverse and young population. There are positive demographic factor for both students and expect to work there.
Our chosen company is Ball Steel Group Corporation, Shanghai, China. Their vision is to become the leader of steel technologies, the driver of green industries, the corporate model for common development of employees and enterprise. Their mission is to become the first-class supplier of steel products, technologies, and services in the world. Ball Steel is known as the largest steel manufacturer in China. This company also specializes in manufacturing steel plate and steel tube. Primarily for the domestic market, the firm manufactures high-grade steel for the vehicle, shipbuilding, pipeline, and home appliance industry.
Obstacle that expatriate face in Brazil. For the government policy, the expatriate must have work permit and the support of private organized to form company. In Brazil, all workers must have both work visa and the resident permit. Furthermore, Brazil will provide a number of work visa, including the permanent work visa for foreign employees with permanent residency, while Vitamin V is for foreigners who enter the country to provide technical support, research skill, or professional service. And lastly, Vitamin 2 is for foreign nationals visiting Brazil for business regularly. Next is consideration of Brazilian labor law is a compendium of a Brazilian labor law that was amended in 2017. The right that contained in the labor law including working hour, holiday, and vacation. It also contains vacation bonus, full sick pay, and others. Expatriates also will face different weather due change of climate in the country. For example, tropical climate, hot and humid. Lastly, expatriates need to be more careful when travel to Brazil due to the high crime occur in the country. This is because in 2019, the overall crime in Brazil was around 39.9 violent crime per 100,000 inhabitants.
Global assignment challenge for expatriation in Brazil. Firstly, cost of living. Brazil is one of the countries that has high inflation rate and it will affect the increase in the cost of goods and service. Thus, expats are not accustomed to living in a country with such high price. Secondly, education for expatriate children. Brazil has greatest share of adults who did not complete their secondary education. Brazil is now rated 32 in the world in terms of education. Also, private and international schools are frequently the institutions of choice for expats. Thirdly, language barriers. Due to homogeneity, local staff may use Portuguese to communicate with foreign colleagues instead of the company's official language. Thus, expatriates will struggle to interact with subsidiaries. Next, expatriate spouse adjustment. Previous expatriate respondents were unhappy with their husband's company early support in Brazil. Lastly, culture novelty. Brazilians keep personal relationships simple and agree to whatever plan is proposed. It is supposed to be a pleasant gesture, but it is difficult for expats to understand that arrangements made.
Human resource planning. The first, managing composition. Bostik Group will offer extra to offset living costs in a more costly city. They will also offer housing allowances or foreign health insurance to assist employees adapt to living abroad. Next, development and training. Bostik Group will offer language training to expats communicate more effectively with their colleagues and clients in the host country. Next, employee health plan. The company will provide medical, pharmaceutical, and preventative care coverage for employees. They will assist expat to adjust their life abroad. The plan may cover mental health treatment like counseling and therapy. Lastly, employee safety and protection. They will provide safety training to help expats understand local safety rules. They will implement harassment and discrimination rules and help employees who experience them.
We compared Brazil and China through Offset Insight. A total of 4 comparisons were made: power distance, individualism, masculinity, and uncertainty avoidance. The first is power distance. Power distance is defined as the extent to which the less powerful members of institutions and organizations within a country expect and accept that power is distributed unequally. With a score of 69, Brazil reflects a society that believes hierarchy should be respected and inequalities amongst people are acceptable. The different distribution of power justifies the fact that power holders have more benefit than the less powerful in society. In Brazil, it is important to show respect to the elderly. In companies, there is one boss who takes completely responsibility. Status symbols of power are very important in order to indicate social position and communicate the respect that could be shown. Next is individualism. The fundamental issue addressed by this dimension is the degree of interdependence a society maintains among its members. Brazil has a score of 38, which means that in this country people from birth onward are integrated into the strong, cohesive group which continues protecting its members in exchange for loyalty. This is an important aspect in the working environment too, where for instance an older and powerful member of a family is expected to help a younger nephew to be hired for a job in his own company. Next is masculinity. A high score on this dimension indicates that the society will be driven by competition, achievement, and success, with success being defined by the winner, best in field, a value system that starts in school and continues throughout organizational life. A low score on the dimension means that the dominant value in society are caring for others and quality of life. A feminine society is one where quality of life is the sign of success and standing out from the crowd is not admirable. The fundamental issue here is what motivates people, wanting to be the best or liking what you do. Brazil's score is 49, a very intermediate score on this dimension. Finally, uncertainty avoidance. The extent to which the members of a culture feel threatened by ambiguous or unknown situations and have created beliefs and institutions that try to avoid this is reflected in the score on uncertainty avoidance. At 76, Brazil high scores, and so do the majority of Latin American countries. This society shows a strong need for rules and elaborate legal system in order to structure life. The individuals need to obey this law, however, is weak. If rules, however, cannot be kept, additional rules are dictated. In Brazil, as in all high uncertainty avoidance society, bureaucracy, law and rules are very important to make the world a safer place to live in.
In conclusion, globalization makes it easier for companies to hire excellent talent. HR policies and practices must accommodate numerous cultures and national laws, which has increased their workload. Our findings suggest that global firms must understand and embrace global cultures. Emerging nations like Brazil struggle with ethnocentrism due to a lack of globalization. Thus, most recruiting and selection must include cultural difficulties in addition to fundamental talents and a desire to work for a foreign business. Human resource management must also include Brazilian social culture aspect to ensure smooth hiring. Multinational companies in Brazil will profit from geocentric strategies. Thank you.